The story begins when Darktail gets introduced right after Duskpaw's brother dies, and instead of faking to be hurt, he actually was hurt, and Hawkwing saves him. He gets taken back to camp, and Darktail becomes really close to Hawkpaw, like best friends. And at the time, Hawkpaw is still an apprentice, but Darktail is also still pretty young, so around like a new graduated warrior. So they train together, and Hawkpaw becomes a warrior at last with the name of Hawkwing, and they're pretty much good friends after that. Darktail comes off as a good cat this time, and he later officially joins SkyClan, and he sticks around for a while. Even though he isn't really close with anybody except Hawkpaw, he still is a pretty prominent figure in the clan. He picked fights constantly though, and always tried to get out of doing warrior duties. However, there wasn't an uprising by Darktail this time. So Pebbleshine and Hawkwing eventually became really close, and they started hanging out, and eventually it was just Darktail, Hawkwing, and Pebbleshine who became really good friends, like the three. Like they were everywhere and did everything together, and Hawkwing and Pebbleshine began to have feelings for each other, and they became mates. And Pebbleshine had kits, and those kits were named with the help of Echosong, who is the medicine cat of SkyClan, who helped inspire Pebbleshine to name the gray one Twig Kit, thinking about how mighty a twig will become once it is a branch, which is all grown up. And it was actually Darktail that inspired Pebbleshine to name Violet Kit after his memories of him being with his mother. See, Darktail was never open about what happened before SkyClan met Darktail, and he always seemed really closed off about it, so nobody asked. Pebbleshine thought it would be nice to name her kit after the idea Darktail had, so the black and white one is named Violet Kit. But while Pebbleshine and the kits are in the nursery, Darktail has been acting kind of suspicious because lately he's been sneaking off a lot more than usual, and he wasn't a rule-following cat. He was just there to help defend the clan because somehow he has this amazing fighting skill he said he taught himself, with the help from his late mother. Hawkwing tried to get him out of trouble constantly, but most of the time Darktail was kind of influencing him, and even causing him to be a little upset about his father, who is Sharpclaw and is in the role of deputy. Hawkwing is jealous of that because Sharpclaw says Hawkwing will never be a deputy because he's too concerned about things and worried, and Darktail kind of influences him on that a lot to be jealous. But it gets to the point where he's missing so much that Hawkwing has to go and find him. And that's where we'll stop right here.